Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Giangelo's on 224 in Boardman. It is the South Range Raiders show. Oh, man, we lost him. We lost him.
We got to bring some more energy.
We got to get some juice going here, man. Whew. It is the South Range Raiders show. It is the Coach's Corner with one of the favorites, one of the greatest of all time here at South Range, and coming off of the best interview you've ever done. Hands down, so many compliments. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the head coach of the South Range Raiders, Mr. David Rach.
Thank you.
Okay, so they cheer for you, not for the show. I like it.
No, I think they were caught off guard. They were still eating.
They caught off guard. They had that, what is it, the pizza? The Rangus?
The Rangus,
yeah. The Rangus is the special tonight, folks, here at Giangelo's. Don't forget about the Rangus. And we have the Raider Wings on special as well. So, Coach, let's get this thing kicked off. I mean, from kickoff on Friday night, it was a business trip, and you could tell. Beating Lakeview, shutting them out. I mean, offense, defense, special teams, the things that you want to be able to execute, you did. You did very well at a high clip. Talk to me about, your expectations going into that game and what you saw, what you liked, and what things maybe you work on going into the Struthers game.
Yeah, I was hoping to see, I think, a heightened level of focus and intensity from our guys. Just being the first NE8 game, I think, our guys understand that those games are accompanied by a little bit higher level of physicality. And again, we talked last week about just the fact that every opponent now is familiar with you. You see them every year, and they see them in other sports throughout the year. So I wanted us to come out and play with a little bit more intensity and I think a little bit more focus, and I think we did that. Like you said, in all three phases, I was really proud of the way that we started the game, and then probably equally proud of the way we finished it with the young guys going in there and handling business as well.
I thought it was really interesting. Going into week 4, I mean, I felt like we were a little bit more banged up than usual. But so was Lakeview. I mean, they had a key loss out. For you going into those games, obviously you want to stay healthy, but you had some of those guys maybe taking a step back from both ways to just one side of the football. That was obviously intentional.
Yeah, I think we're trying to limit reps, as much as we can, as much as you can afford to. I also think we're trying to get more guys involved as much as possible. I think, again, we talked before, but it's unrealistic to say, hey, these are our 11 guys, and we're going to stick with them for 4 quarters for however many weeks in a row. And I've been really proud of the way that our guys have been practicing, and I think we made some changes in practice, just trying to utilize our resources as much as we can, and I think it's starting to pay dividends. And again, I think it's where it showed up the most is probably on special teams and in trying to develop depth.
You made the comment that you were so happy with some of the younger guys stepping up. Obviously, with Jason out on offense, you can have a nice stable of backs in that backfield.
Yeah.
Drew Starkey stepped up big and was running hard. Also, I mean, everybody, Tommy Valentine, a couple touchdowns. For you, when you see that stable of back, that's kind of the Raider way. There's no real premier backs. You just have guys that you can get the ball to, and you count on them. For a coach, accountability, huge. But to be, had to hold 3, 4, 5 backs accountable, how do you do that and at the kind of the same clip?
I think, we talked on Saturday with the film, stealing kind of a note out of PJ Fleck's book, talking about what wins games and what doesn't win games. And we said that, defensively we want to make sure that we're not missing more than 6 tackles a week. And then offensively we're trying to break 7 tackles or more, per week. And I think, those guys did a nice job collectively of doing that. I think Jimmy and Drew, ended up going for over 200 combined, which was a really nice night from them. Got some really big yards early on in the game with Nick running the ball, and then Ridge came in, did a nice job. Our H-backs, Tommy and Dan and Dimitri, those guys came in and did a nice job. And then the younger Tristan Toy, obviously capped one off down there at the end. Yeah, it's wild. So, but he did a nice job down the stretch there. But no, I think our guys understand they're all selfless football players, and they all understand that it's going to be running back by committee at times because so many of those guys are so heavily involved defensively. When we feel like if we're going to get them off the field for a couple plays, it's a little bit easier, at running back than it is, on defense in some spots.
When you think about kind of the spell, I mean, if you have 5 backs, they stay fresher longer. Is that kind of the plan? Is it nice to have guys that you can give the ball to, you split those carries up, I guess, and being able to make sure they're on the field all the time?
Yeah, I think there's probably a happy medium. I think you want to obviously play the hot hand. If there's a guy really feeling good, you want to keep feeding him, and we've certainly been in those situations, this year at times. And then I think there's other times where, like this past week, I thought we were leaning on him pretty good, doing a good job in the run game. And it seemed like collectively our guys were wearing them down, and they kind of all had a hot hand. And I think when you get in that situation, it's almost an embarrassment of riches to be able to just keep plugging guys in and kind of leaning on the defense collectively.
full circle. I mean, we sat here before the before the season started, and we're talking about what people's expectations were of South Range.
Yeah.
Obviously, you move in, and I can't get this thing right. There we go. You can hear me right?
Yep.
So we go to week 4, and all of a sudden you put it on Lakeview, an NE8 opponent that is always competitive. Do you feel like this team is gelling? We obviously saw the offensive line gel very quickly after week 1 into week 2. Do you feel like these young guys are growing up right before your very eyes?
There's no question we're growing up and growing up in a hurry, and I think anybody that has a pulse would tell you, we're a way different team now than we were last week, let alone, 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I've been really proud of just the hard work that the kids have put in and how much they have improved in that amount of time. We also understand that we have some pretty lofty goals, and the standard here is really high. And, none of us went out and said, hey, our goal is to go 3-1 as a football program this year. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. But, yeah, to answer your question, I'm just really, really excited. And it's been fun, man, to see some of these young guys really step up and, like you said, I think grow right before your eyes.
What's some of those things that you've seen the young guys, particularly? We've talked to all the seniors so far, but these young guys that we're going to start talking to over the next few weeks, what's some of the things that you've seen them take like an AP class in football and you're really impressed with?
Yeah, I think the football IQs are improving, every day, but I would go to the more broad areas where I think our discipline has improved tremendously, which I think is often overlooked. I think that's probably something that we've spent a ton of time on, and then just the maturity, the leadership. I think whenever you have a smaller group of seniors, those seniors have done a great job of leading us, and sometimes I think being a great leader, one of the aspects of being a great leader that's maybe often overlooked is the ability to kind of set your pride aside and say, hey, we need some more guys to step up and help lead. So it's been really cool for me to see some of our juniors that you'll talk to tonight, some of the sophomores step up and lead, and some of the guys we're going to talk to tonight obviously have some really good leadership qualities. But I think it's often hard early in the season when you're young to kind of really take the reins and say, hey, I'm going to lead. And I've seen a lot of our sophomores and juniors helping our seniors in that respect, which I think is probably, the correlation is pretty clear on Friday night.
You mentioned a couple of guys we're going to talk to tonight. Gavin, Tommy, guys that have been around the program, big playmakers, and usually put the ball in the end zone at a frequent clip. Talk to me about not only what they mean to this team, but obviously the leadership that they're showing at younger ages.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about the way those two have matured and I think helped to lead us. It sounds funny, but Tommy Valentine's probably the most experienced football player on our team just because he's a 3-year starter as a long snapper. He's been in big moments, and then you look at Gavin. Him and Adam obviously both started all last year, but those guys I think maybe saw, I'm not going to call it a void because, again, our seniors have been terrific, but I think they saw an opportunity where they could go help the seniors to lead the football team, and that's probably something that maybe felt out of character for them, even 2 months ago, but it's a role that both of them have really stepped into and made it look really easy. And it's at the point now where we challenge them all the time and we tell them, listen, the difference between a good player and a great player is a good player is going to go make plays. A great player is going to make the 11 guys around, the 10 guys around them better players. And those guys have done a great job of doing that. I
know you guys lean on film study a ton. You talked about their football IQ. Have you talked to them about how the game has slowed down over the course of the first month of the season at all?
I haven't asked them. I mean, it's something that we talk about every day as far as, hey, we're trying to slow the game down. How are you transitioning your eyes, and are you in a great spot pre-snap to allow the game to slow down, trying to show them the same picture over and over again. And we talk about film study and trying to have the answers to the test before you show up to take it, so studying throughout the week and making sure you're locked into meetings and those kinds of things. So, but I haven't asked them, but I'm sure it's slowing down for them. You can see kind of the proof is in the pudding on a Friday night. I think it's pretty obvious that our guys are getting more and more comfortable with the speed of the game and with what's happening around them.
The next test that you talk about is Struthers. At Struthers, when you think about the Struthers Wildcats over the last few seasons, really since the NE8 has originated, they've been the team that's been the thorn in your side. You talk about, you can go back to the Jersey game, as everybody calls it, and they really tested your character, tested your mettle. Every single year, Struthers, no matter what their record is really trying to get South Range. This year, probably not going to be any different. They're going to still try to get after you. They're sizable, as always. Talk to me about what you see on tape with Struthers and what you're expecting for the Wildcats on Friday night.
Well, I think every year when you talk about Struthers, you talk about a football program, a team, a community, in a school that is really takes a lot of pride in playing football. And they're hard-nosed guys that I think play the game Yeah, really well. And, this year they've had a tough start, but again, I think can attribute some of that to they've played 4 really good football teams. And they've obviously had a lot to replace. So it's been a tough early season for them, but they're still, it's still the same Struthers. They play hard. They're physical. They're big and strong. They're talented in a lot of spots. And we're familiar with, some of the team. We saw them on film against West Branch and who we scrimmaged, and they're winning a lot of one-on-one matchups. So we're going to have to make sure that we're executing at a really high level and trying to contain some of the really good playmakers.
All right. That's all the X's and O's, but we always go off script a little bit. And this week we're going to talk a little bit about music. I know it's your favorite topic to talk about.
I do like music.
You do like music.
I do.
But it's tough. These are tough questions.
Oh, man.
So we're going to talk to Dave Rach about the one song, and there's a bunch of these, so get ready. The one song that you hear and it instantly makes you happy. Oh, and wifey's watching. She is taking notes, pal.
Oh, man. The one song that I hear that instantly makes me happy.
Makes you smile.
I would say.
You can't say the national anthem. That makes everybody smile.
Yeah, probably an Eric Church song, I would guess. I'm trying to think which one. I don't know. Maybe I got to make sure that there's no bad lyrics in any of them either.
That's okay. We're not judging. We're not here to judge.
Actually, I would switch directions. I've been on this big kick right now of Universal Sound by Tyler Childers. So that gets me pretty pumped. The kids know that I play it in the locker room on
Guys
Saturdays
know it.
sometimes. Yeah, I like that one.
What song gets you kind of bummed out? What makes you hit you in the feels?
Oh, I'm kind of weird with music. There's probably a bunch of them. I'd say, man, I'm a sucker for like old Waylon Jennings stuff. So maybe old church hymns and nursery rhymes gets me a little bit bummed out from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday night out here in Youngstown, Ohio. You and I have had a couple adult pops.
Okay.
There's a microphone right there. What song are you singing karaoke to?
Yes. I like karaoke a lot. I would probably sing something, maybe Springsteen by Eric Church, unless you want to go, like, it depends on the environment too. So like if you had a rowdy group there, then you could probably change gears and go with maybe something a little bit more upbeat, maybe like a Meatloaf song, maybe Bat Out of Hell or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. Paradise by the Dashboard.
There it is.
Yeah.
Dude, you and I duet on that one.
Yeah, we could rock
that. I'll take the female role. Voice is a little higher. What song makes you think of this South Range Raider team right now?
Oh. This is hard because I'm looking at Tommy and Gavin right now, and I'm thinking, like, I don't even know the name of the song that they play in the locker room after the wins, and I'm sure I can't say it on here because I'm probably
not
really bad.
Not with Valentine with the Ox, no way.
They rock some Black Betty quite a bit.
Little Black Betty?
They still do some of that. So
like the old school one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the original, the OG, as they would say.
What song makes you think of the kids?
My kids?
Your kids. Your beautiful 2 children over there.
Man, I don't know. Well, probably different answers for both of them.
Okay.
David's would be much more subdued. He likes some Johnny Cash. He likes Ring of Fire. Geneva's would probably be like me and Bobby McGee or something, because hers would be a little bit wild probably.
And finally, last but not least, what makes you think of your beautiful wife?
Oh gosh, probably our.
She's no longer taking notes for the record.
No, I know I'll screw up our actual wedding song. It's Need to Breathe. Or what's that? Need to Breathe is the song or the artist? Yeah, she's on a huge help here.
You're cheating, dude.
She said, yeah. Jason Aldean, Heaven was like our actual one.
There it is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You got her blushing over there, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is hot in here though. So
it is warm.
She's
a little warm.
Yeah.
You get off the hot seat, pal.
You
aced that test.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the head coach, Dave Rach.
Thank you. Go Raiders.